sitting at the dining room table and you want to get to your sister or your brother, you kind of chew up your food and then you hang your mouth open like that. That's horror. Suspense is a little more high class than that, so maybe that's why
my mother used to say that was tasteless.
That's tasteless, yeah, that's right. Well, my mother, when I was a kid, used to say, Stephen, your taste is all in your mouth. And that's true, but it has made me relatively wealthy.
Yes, it has. Not even relatively, very.
But I have a lot of relatives, so.
Do you know where it all comes from? I mean, it comes out of your imagination, but why this for you? Why not other kinds of novels?
No, I don't know where it all comes from. And that's the literal, unvarnished truth. I don't know where it comes from any more than I know where the color of my eyes comes from.
Well, I can tell you where
know.
that comes from.
Well, all right, that's genetically inherited from your mother and your father. And my mother used to enjoy writing, and my father wrote a lot of stories and mailed them to the
were released. Some estimates say that maybe everyone in America's identity has been breached at this point. I was just talking to Aura, and they were telling me that I should probably freeze my children's credit, which is something that wasn't even on my radar. Aura monitors your identity across the dark web, data breaches, and looks at your credit score. So if scammers or hackers try to use your information to apply for loans or credit cards, you'll be notified immediately. I highly recommend everybody freezes their credit and take advantage of Aura's 21-day free trial. If you sign up through aura.com/Kiboga, you can get started today, find out where your data has been breached, and get protected. This might surprise you, but I'm not an author, and to investigate this scam, I need a book. I don't really know anything about the book writing process or self-publishing, so I was a little nervous going into this, but I figured if I pitched an absolutely absurd book that no one in their right mind would
care, which is both of these things are scary. Thankfully though, there were also tons of people who were pointing out his age and telling off the people that were saying out of pocket shit. But after this whole thing took place, he did eventually make a video dedicated to his age. And in that comment section, there was a lot of people being very sweet, very supportive, but still to this day, that doesn't stop full-grown adults from Book Talk commenting weird shit on his page. This is all extra peculiar to me because out of all communities that could be like super problematic on the internet, you wouldn't expect the most innocuous of all, fucking Book Talk, to have hundreds of people that absolutely just have no boundaries. But learning about this incident made me ask a number of questions. Like, number one, why are people so comfortable commenting something sexual on somebody who they have no idea who it is? A stranger's post. And two, what the hell is the connection
a great opportunity to sit down, pick her brain about what she is doing over on Instagram that's bringing her such a large following. I mean, gosh, nearly 26,000 followers. What? I mean, there has to be something that she's doing right. And we're going to find out all those details in today's interview. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. All right, Christine, you and I were already talking before this. We've already chatted it up for easily about 13 minutes. I find you super fascinating. And, you know, you're like, no, I've been following you since 2018. And I'm like,
right?
I've been following you for a while on Instagram, and you just have absolutely crushed it with your whole brand as a horror author. What's your secret?
Thank you. Well, my secret is my book.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the book that I wrote, I wouldn't be able to market the way that I'm marketing it.
Yeah.
And so I have the Brothers Curse to thank for that.
Any hope of approaching its greatness? Why read Gravity's Rainbow? Well, aside from the fact that this novel offers us an enormous cognitive challenge, indeed it's one of the most difficult books that I've personally ever read. It's in the top 3 for me. Aside from the fact that it's good for us to read cognitively challenging books, it's good for us to engage with works that are over our heads because then it forces us to grow. Aside from that, Gravity's Rainbow is also incredibly funny, riotously funny. It is incredibly profound, but it also doesn't take itself too seriously. And there are parts of the book that are astonishingly and breathtakingly beautiful. There are also parts of the book that are lewd and grotesque and disturbing. But essentially, this book offers us, or attempts to offer us, all of life in the 20th century, and the human condition. And it's an incredibly important work.
It is, yeah. It's but it's a beautiful day here. It's a cool, crisp blue skies. Autumn in Oxford is always a wonderful time of year, so it's very much like that here this morning.
And you have a beautiful backdrop. It's not a fake one, it's a real one. You are in the library at the moment, right?
Absolutely. I'm in the oldest part of the Bodleian Libraries. This is called Duke Humphreys Library. It's a reading room that was first opened to readers in 1488. And it's the site of a great chapter in the history of knowledge, the destruction of the medieval library of the university. But then it was the site of a reconstruction in the early 17th century. So just last Sunday is the anniversary of the opening of this room to readers in its rebuilt state.
When I posted that I'm hanging out with Pavel, a lot of people, fans of his, wrote to me asking if he does, in fact, privately live the disciplined, ascetic life he's known for. No alcohol, stoic mindset, strict diet and exercise, including a crazy amount of daily pull-ups and push-ups, no phone except to occasionally test Telegram features, and so on. Yes, he's 100% that guy, which made the experience of hanging out with him really inspiring to me. I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful to now be able to call him a friend. This podcast conversation is in parts philosophical, about freedom, life, human nature, and the nature of government bureaucracies. And it is also in parts super technical, because to me, it is fascinating that Telegram has a relatively small engineering team and yet is able to basically out-innovate all of its competitors with an insane...
I'm halfway through, full disclosure. I'm loving everything, but the first thing I loved was the picture that you put up of you when you applied, and then your, what was it, I guess your corporate portrait or something?
That is correct. When I made vice president, they took pictures of us. So yes, that was 20 years later.
How many vice presidents were there?
Generally had about 7, not a lot. And vice president at Publishers Clearinghouse was a big deal.
Yeah. Okay, so it's called Downfall of an Icon. And I never do this, but there's so much about the book in the way you wrote it that kind of rhymes with the company and the way they sold their product. It's very good. It makes me want to turn the page.
I learned marketing from them, and they were the best.
Listen to this. This is on the back cover.
For years and years and years and years. Imagine what you would learn. Imagine what you would see. Imagine the value that you would take from that experience of following 2 of the greatest world-shifting entrepreneurs that have ever lived. Well, the man that sits in front of me today was given that privilege. He got to follow Steve Jobs until the day that he died. And he got to follow Elon Musk for years and years and years in order to write down what he saw and share that information with you. If you've ever wondered what it takes to be a genius, what it takes to change the world, what the cost is, the sacrifice, how to make decisions, how to think, and what motivates these world-changing entrepreneurs, in the next hour and a half, you find out.